My aegirine eyes podium. Nickel to Odysseus. Neodymium to Jackson. Tin to Norris. And mercury to Ronaldo. Stubbsy yells from afar, Lando! Keep my fur the tin! Yeah, okay. So, and mercury to Ronaldo. So here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, talk through a podium 4 spots of human beings inspired by the changing color of my eyes as an adult, from more dark blue to blue and to aegirine over approximately 13 years, with each person being paired with a chemical element, metal. So like a metal in the shape. And some of you go, how do you do that with mercury? It's liquid metal. I'm like, well, that's part of the fun of it, huh? Okay. So the nickel metal goes to Odysseus, neodymium to metal to Jackson, tin metal to Norris, and mercury metal to Ronaldo. So some background. The eye color change is part of my ongoing physiology, non-cardiology physiology, self-experimentation with a chemistry focus, meaning could the color go away back to dark blue since it is part of an ongoing experiment? I don't know. Some of this was I born a certain way and should have been born a different way, so to speak? So like birth defects. I'm like, I'm not going to ask my parents, but I'm like, could I test myself for birth defects, so to speak? So part of that was... I for that particular one, I had been diagnosed with ADHD, and I was like, I had optional medication, and so and with talk therapy, psychiatry, and so that was I was diagnosed with ADHD, and so I went on Adderall, and I was like, you know what? They were very like, don't use this if you're pregnant, and so I was like, well, I'm not pregnant, but like, let's delve into the world of possible birth defects that could apply to myself. Understand my own physiology. So, all right. So this is, podium kind of comes with that like broader physiology. Oh yeah, the stuff I don't get to do, like, cardiology is my pick, but then like my eyes, like if they were a birth defect and I'm trying to get them to go back to like what they should have been, so to speak, which turns out to be aegirine green, like there's a little bit of like, well then to get my natural or what it should have been back is like fighting off the birth defects that I did not introduce, right, kind of thing. So there we go. So sweet, sweet, lovingless marriage podium. This is for the podium part. A spirit/focus of self-improvement to preserve physiology of mind that has changed as part of my self-experimentation in physiology. These self-experiments are to see if I can change something about myself. If I can, for how long, and whether I actually changed anything and instead activated something dormant beneath the surface of the skin or the eye or whatever. So essentially I saw a bunch of really cool things in Hollywood movies and was like, why not see what I can do with my own body? And I was like, but with a cautionary tale there, it's probably going to be like something that it should have been, but not like probably, but like my cardiology, I'm like, I am my own person in what I have attained, and nobody in my family has it. It hasn't worn off. They haven't worn off of me, and all that kind of stuff. I've differentiated myself from the rest. I've self-differentiated from myself, earlier self, so there's that. The podium. So let's go. The exercise, self-improvement. Okay. Perhaps I am and was born Tanis Gillespie, then Tanis Leonardi might be a birth defect, no? It even affects the namespace, y'all. Whoa, that would be a big one. That'd be a big birth defect. Okay. So if I was restricted to only, so the exercise self-improvement here at the podium, if I was restricted to only 4 chemical elements from the periodic table of elements, which would I choose and which of my soulmates would I pair to each to protect it? I always loved a defender. So this is a podium, 4 spots defined by people and projects I would wait my life and beyond for. Each person is paired with a chemical element, metal, and a project. The spirit of the podium is getting the person and pairing correct, as well as order. However, if order is wrong, then getting the podium members and pairings correct. Yes. So the nickel metal goes to, so the project is my blood glucose meets my dental care. Small pockets experimenting currently. Larger/longer sweets depletion relative to the past. It's kind of ongoing. It's I've really improved my teeth care, and I've gotten positive reinforcement from that from the dentist, and it's where that meets my blood glucose stuff, which is cardiology for me anyway. Self-experimentation for me anyway. And so I paired that one with my Homer Odysseus. Okay. The neodymium metal, my yellow face speckles currently come and go. This goes to Michael Jackson. Maybe I have latent Crohn's disease, and this is related to that. You guys go, Crohn's disease is out of the blue. No, so I was growing up and I had really bad bowel inflammation, and it was so bad that I would have to lie on the bathroom floor, like giving birth. I'd lie on my back and pull my legs up and to try and get poop to come out. Okay, as undignified as that is. And and there have been other like areas, like sometimes like my spine would like get inflamed and stuff, and I was like, and there were occasional symptoms. Like this is one that I've like come to over the years. I've like come back to, and I'll be looking up something, and every time it's like something different. And they're like, one possibility is Crohn's disease, and I'm like, I went to Scotland, and I was like in the sun, and I was like, and I had got a bad skin reaction somewhere, and then there were like these yellow spiders, and I was like. And Crohn's disease partially is related to like the immune system, white blood cells. White blood cells fight off infection. They're part of the blood system. Okay, but okay. Anyway, so I was like, I have no clue, but I do have a clue. But do I have a clue? I don't know. Crohn's disease. Let's just throw that one out there. Okay, so it keeps popping up. Doesn't mean it is it, or maybe it is, but like it pops up. Okay, and has been consistent. The tin medal, my aegirine eyes, the namesake of the podium, goes to Ronaldo Norris. So blue-green, more dark blue growing up. Now an aegirine green. It's a mineral aegirine. I can look it up if you want. It's like a dark green. Some of it is dark green to blue, but like dark green to black, because they're dark green to dark with a dark blue outer ring. So it hasn't lost its blue entirely. My eyes have never been pure blue in the sense of pure being the blue, being the stereotypically like light blue, like ocean eyes, like light blue. I haven't ever had those. I had been diagnosed with ADHD about the time I started this self-experimentation in about 2013, and another common condition socially was bipolar disorder, something that may have come up socially, like as in my larger social group, was seizures could be caused by lithium overdose used to treat bipolar disorder. This was about the time I initially questioned if my poor eyesight could have been due to Adderall abuse when I was in the womb. All right, so I wouldn't be taking the Adderall, is my way of saying that. I also questioned that since my older sister's eyes were green, light green, not the same as mine, if mine were supposed to be green as well. Perhaps lithium abuse when I was in the womb would explain if my eye colors changed to green. So like it was something that the person who consumed it, not me, again, I was in the womb, might have started about between my sister and I, or about my sister's time or something like that. So, or it hadn't yet settled in to affect her or something like that. So I tied this to blood chemistry possibly. However, so maybe I got a Nobel Prize or two of me for chemistry, so to speak. My parents have not clarified if they used / use either substance, and I have not ever inquired. So I'm not saying that it is that. I'm just saying that was part of this came from that. Was like, why don't I work through what my own body? I'm allowed to do that. Yeah, for real. Okay. Yeah. And then up last is the mercury metal. So my higher body fat, the origins of this were separate from cardiology, though some like to like pair it with like female menstruation. I'm like, I don't see that correlation for my own anatomy. But I do have like, you know, blood flow and blood pressure now and stuff. So there's like that. And this one gets paired with Cristiano Ronaldo. And I aim to have enough of fat for the both of us. So that's the fleshed out aegirine eyes podium of me, Tanis Sheehers of Seattle,